Here we go.
fam.
Two bros are in the house. We got Kyle. Kyle's not able to make it because he's obviously working at this point. So he's got things that he's kind of doing at this point. But we're here to talk about the Chargers versus Ram battle for LA preseason game coming up on Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one for sure. I think it'll be interesting. I think there's a lot to discuss on it. And actually, it's interesting too. We canceled our joint practice with them this week. We were supposed to have a joint practice.
Yep.
Khalil Mack talked about it, and he's like, "Well, whatever. I mean, we're just wanting to go out and hit people." And I think they're ready to just start playing some football, right? These are finely tuned athletic machines, and so I think they were kind of okay not doing the joint practice because I think our team is a little banged up. I know their team is banged up. We'll definitely talk about that as well too. There's plenty of injuries on both sides of the ball, so it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Big time. And I'd share you a real quick slide that has nothing to do about the Chargers, but I thought it was pretty funny. It recently happened. This was on the news, and it legitimately did say Michael Penis Jr., not Penix. And I think that is hilarious to see that. And, legitimately saw the video of it, and it actually happened. So pretty hilarious. Whoever did it, I think, meant to do it. I don't know why, but that thing is pretty hilarious to me. Pretty hilarious.
I think it must have been. Yeah, that's a huge boo boo. That's not a honey boo boo situation. That's a huge boo boo. So anyway, we got plenty to talk about, guys. It'll be a pretty funny video, guys, and I'm excited for some football, guys. All right, let's get into it.
Bolt Bros, let's go.
This is Pyramid here, man. You watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Shout out blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Bolt Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
Whew. All right.
Boy.
So we are back in the building for this battle for LA happening on Saturday. It's going to be a good one. It's always fun to basically see, both of the home teams battling it out. It would have been actually really cool to be able to see this as a regular season game. I think it should just honestly be a regular season game every single year. Create that inner city type rivalry with this matchup. I think it'd be phenomenal if they played the Rams every single year. Create a rivalry. Come on, let's make it happen.
Yeah, well, it already is a rivalry, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Rams are always like, "Hey, it's our house," and yada yada, and look, it's they seem to think that we're the redhead stepchild. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, I'm excited to see how this game goes, right? But plenty to talk about, guys. So, got plenty to get into. By the way, we will not be showing videos this time, right? We're having some internet problems, so if we are a little choppy, guys, we apologize. But secondarily, YouTube clapped us for showing those last videos, even the all 22 footage, which should not be an offense on YouTube. So we probably need to send them a message and see if we can't get them to reconsider it for sure.
Beats me what's going on with that, but NFL does not like us to use all NFL 22 footage anymore for some weird reason. Last year we had no problem. This year it's a problem. So who knows? I think the NFL is trying to get us to get a license or something like that, but pretty silly to see. I mean, there's a lot of guys even on YouTube that they use all the NFL 22 footage as their channel. That's their product. And sucks to see that you can't use it for some reason. You'll get clapped real quick. So, but either which way, we're here to talk about the Rams, kind of give you a little bit of recap of everything that's kind of coming into this game. More or less just a small preview about what the Chargers are going to do, what to watch with the Rams. It's going to be a good game, man. I'm always looking forward to this. I thought it was cool. Deion Henley was talking a little bit about this matchup, and he's like, look, like I want to get out there and just hit people. I want to go out there and make some plays. I want to go out there and you know what? Battle for LA. We look at SoFi as our home, so it's a home game for us. This is where we play. Like, it don't matter whatever else is there. It's Rams stuff and whatnot. Hey, this is our home too, right? So this is essentially a home game for them. So I'd love to be able to see a big turnout for the Chargers fans there.
Yep, 100%. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, no videos this time, unfortunately. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So here's our game day fits. So the powder blue on whites. And it's got Trey Lance on there, but he's not the starter for this game. He is not the starter for this game at all. This is actually going to be a starting game for Justin Herbert, first time in his career for this preseason matchup. And really cool to see that. I mean, I'm glad to be able to see that. I've been a big fan of trying to get out there and get the starters out there and get their wiggles out. And you know, going from like just hanging out, throwing the ball around practice, you're not really having that true pressure or anything like that, and not getting hit or anything, or having the ability to potentially get hit, kind of makes you a little soft going into the season. Now, you got to add that pressure, get those wiggles out, and that's what they're going to allow this game. So I'm excited to see some of the starters out there and see how they do.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I did a video on Trey Lance as well, too, guys, talking a little bit about us potentially trading him off. Again, I don't know that happens. Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, here we go. LOD. Trey Lance yesterday was bad. Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, guys, like I even thought the only reason why we picked him up was to trade him off, right? You get him cheap, and you could potentially use him to get it, because we only have, 6 picks next year. So, if we could get another pick, that would be pretty big. We're trying to build in the draft, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens. Again, who would they want? Do they want Taylor Heinicke or would they want Trey Lance, right? I think both quarterbacks bring different things, right? So who knows? Again, there's a lot of teams out there that have really bad backups that just cannot throw the ball. They're not doing a good job. And if these guys look good, then, there's some value in potentially trading them away. But, if I had to guess, I'd say we're probably not trading them away. But, anything could happen. So we'll see.
Yep. I agree. And I will say, though, DJ Uyunglele, and I'm going to stick with that as his last name.
Uyunglele, yes.
They've been talking a little bit about just kind of keeping him aside, like kind of hide him a little bit so they could throw him on the practice squad. So there's something to be able to take from that and what that talk has been. I mean, Matt Money Smith has talked quite a bit about it, and it just seems like that is the idea and the thought about this team of what they're doing with DJ. So he's making throws when he needs to make throws. I mean, you think about his deep throw he made last game. I mean, the guy could heave the ball out there and make plays. So I think it's a potential real case that DJ finds his way on this team, not on the 53, but just on the practice squad, and allow him to basically grow within this team. So it's going to be good to see.
And ask yourself this question, right? Like, I think they do like him a lot. Remember, he was a very high draft pick, very high recruit. Number one recruit. He was the guy. Pronounce you on my leg.
You on my leg. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And bottom line, though, it will be interesting to see. I think that's probably the interesting conversation. I think these are the two players that I can think of that might get traded off.
Yep.
I don't think they keep both. I just kind of don't see that, because I don't think you could put either one of them on a practice squad, right? Yep. And you're not going to shoot out 3. So that's kind of my point, right? So it's like, okay, well, you're going to put one on the practice squad, which would be DJ. Well, which one? Is it Trey Lance, or are they going to keep Taylor? So in the chat, okay, here we go. Everyone say, who would you want? You want Lance over Heinicke? By the way, he's young. He's only 25. Yep. So in that regard, that's kind of why I don't think we'll trade him. But he's probably got more value than Taylor. So anyways, again, it's something to look at. We have no inside information on it, but there's a lot of videos or there's a lot of articles about it. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and that's the one thing too. We pointed this one out too, Mighty, that it was where'd it go here? All these comments come popping in and throwing things off here. So this one said, Coach said Taylor had an O-line breakdown and wide receivers off that made the series look bad. Need to see more of him. Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. He had the series started on the 4-yard line of the Chargers 4, and then the 8-yard line on the Chargers 8-yard line. His first drive, there was a couple bad drops too. I mean, it wasn't just Conklin had a drop, KLS had a drop, all these different things happen. It just put him in a bad position, in field position at that point. So I think it is one of those things. I'm hoping to see a better drive from him at some point. And obviously Trey Lance has been making plays and doing things right. And, last week he sparked the offense to get it going with his legs, and the upside is huge with Trey Lance. And, with Taylor, you're going to get a proven quarterback too. So that's something I would like to be able to see in this game. It sounds like it's going to be basically, series of 2 with Justin Herbert and the starters. And then it's going to end up being the other guys from that point on. So will they play all 4 quarterbacks? Not too sure. Not too sure if there's enough time for that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they play DJ at all. I think they probably, because if the argument is we're going to put him on the practice squad, they probably won't play him at all. They'll probably just say, all right, we've seen enough. We're going to try and squeeze you on the practice squad and and tuck you away. Because think about it this way. He's dirt cheap. I mean, he costs nothing, right, at this point. And you could have him for one more year, then give him an opportunity next year to come out and maybe show what he can do as a backup quarterback, and then go from there. So I just, again, I know this is an extremely controversial conversation. I understand
Big
that.
Time. Yeah.
But it's interesting, right? You got to remember, we're still trying to build our team out, right? And we can go trade them away for a 4th-round pick or a 5th-round pick and get some more depth. And I don't think we're going to keep all 3. So it's going to be interesting. Now, you could even say that also about our running back room too, guys. Like, and we'll probably talk more about that a little bit later on, but the running back room is going to be an interesting one also to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. And Miguel says, hey, question, can we keep all QBs? And yes, you can. Totally. I mean, there's a 3rd quarterback rule too, that you could keep all of them there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to. I mean, they have the practice squad there for a reason. You have a quarterback rule there for a reason. And you totally could add them there. So why not? Why not? Maybe it's a little bit too much. And now we become the Browns, where we got 4 quarterbacks on one team, even if it's practice squad and 53-man squad. But for the 53-man squad, you ain't going to probably hold 3. You're probably going to find a way to basically get that emergency quarterback somewhere or another in there and involved. You don't want 3 quarterbacks, period. I don't think you necessarily need that at this point. But
I think there's even linebackers like Marlo Wax looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks better than a lot of other people, right? And then how about our edge rusher?
Kyle Kennard and Caleb Murphy. That's a different situation going on there. A 4th-round pick, a guy that's basically came over here from, I believe it was the Titans, I think is where he came from. And so adding that issue, thinking of the O-line, there's a lot of slots within this offense that got to get filled up, and defensively, offensively. 53 goes real quick with this team. So,
by the way, I will just say this one thing too. Go back to the picture real quick before we move on. I liked last week or the week before. No, I think it was the Hall of Fame game when it was all whites and then just powder blues at the bottom. That was just such a clean look. I don't love the white helmet with the powder blue and then the white pants and then the powder blue socks. It just looks a little up and down. What do you guys think down below?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I mean, I think it still looks pretty smooth, but maybe it's just not as clean and consistent, I guess, as if you would like to say. But still some of the best jerseys in the league, and I'd probably say for sure in the league, period, my opinion. So I'm not trying to say that biasly. I mean, it's true. It's true. But
for sure.
And I also will say one thing too. Kyle last week, he streamed the entire game on Twitch. So if you guys want to, I'll throw in the link to our Twitch account, and feel free to join in the Twitch broadcast for us Bolt Bros. Kyle did it last week. I think he might be doing it again this week. Not 100% sure, but once again, that is something that you can, if you want to watch the game, you could watch it there. I think locally wise, you got, I think ABC and CBS, I think we're going to be broadcasting this one. If you have NFL Plus, you could watch it on there too. But you could also watch it on Twitch too. So, which is great with Kyle. So that was pretty fun that he was doing that last week.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Get that on
good.
Twitch anyway.
Good old Twitchy
Plenty
Twitch.
of touch. Okay.
Yep. But going back to this is when Jim Harbaugh announced what's going to be happening, that Justin Herbert said, hey, man, I want to play. Like, I want to play. It's crazy to think he's in year 6 and has not even played a snap in the preseason. Crazy to think he didn't even do that in when he was a rookie in 2020, but it was like a COVID year situation there. It's really cool to be able to see. And I've always said you need to get these starters out there, get the wiggles out, just get their blood flowing, ready to go for the season. Week 1's coming up quick. Get these starters out there. And why this matters most to me is see what the D-line could do, see what the offense could do against other talent. They obviously canceled the Ram practice on Wednesday, so that kind of took away that opportunity. And I think that's the reason why that they're going to let these starters go out there and do their thing. Let's give them some series, let them get the wiggles out, and go out and hit somebody, bottom line, and know what you really got in those type of positions, yeah. O-line and D-line.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the interesting situation. But I think Harbaugh said it's going to be 1 or 2 series, and I think that's about it. I think we're going to run the ball a lot. Wouldn't be surprised. It's going to be a lot of run balls. It's going to be, just get the wiggles out, just get a few, see how the O-line works back and forth. And I think they're definitely going to say, look, Herbert, if you take a shot, throw the ball away before you take a shot. I do not want you getting hit. I do not want you getting touched. I firmly believe that's what they're going to say to him. Having said that, he still needs to go out and play football. Definitely not going to say, let's run the ball at all, Herbert, right? No RPOs, right?
Don't need to do that. Yeah.
It's going to be gap right, gap left. That's about it, So I think it's going to be interesting. So,
Jaleel Adai.
We're going to tenderize that meat.
Tenderize that meat. Well, and Jaleel Adai even talked about it too in Chargers Weekly today that the episode got released today. He said, hey, look, everything's vanilla defense, vanilla offense from this point. And it's probably just going to be that, just you're saying, like a lot of run plays, see how the O-line is operating, see how Joe Alt's doing as a left tackle, see how Pipkins is a right tackle, see the interior O-line, let them do what they're asking them to do. He really wants to see some game footage of these guys gelling at this point. Yeah. And I think this would be a good way to see that. Now, I will say the same thing for the defensive line. I'm interested to see what this defensive line looks as a starters. Now, the only 2 guys that are going to be sitting out this one are Khalil Mack and Derwin James. That's it. Yeah. Like everybody else is going to be out there. You're going to see everybody out there possibly that is a part of this starting offense and defense. So I like it. I'm all for it. And a lot of people will say, hey, don't get hurt. Totally get it. But I don't anticipate something like that to happen. And I don't necessarily think they will put Justin Herbert in a bad situation, to Andrew's point. So keep him away from, don't let him get hit. Don't let him get hit.
Yeah. And I think, but it'll be good for them to understand what they have with the offensive line as well, too. Again,
exactly.
Bozeman, Zion Johnson's out there. Again, I'm not hyped on Zion Johnson, quite frankly. He's not a natural guard. I think he really is more of a natural center body wise. So again, man, like those stunts killed us in that Houston game.
Yep.
And they couldn't stop it. They could not stop it. It was just so annoying. So anyways, pretty frustrating. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see K19 out there as well, too. It's going to be super
big time.
Can't wait to see that.
And I was just going to talk a little bit about that, too. But and I know we already went quite a bit about the whole Justin Herbert playing this game. Instead of him just not being suited up on the sidelines, he's going to be out on the field. And I'm excited to see Justin Herbert in action. Like, when we watched him in camp and everything, the guy is just making passes after passes after passes. And I can't remember what I was watching. I think it might have been one of the other guys' podcasts or whatnot. And he said, hey, man, look, how cool would it be if Justin Herbert goes out there and does like 4 plays? He's going to have a 25-yard pass to KLS, 15-yard, just nice pass catch from Trey Harris, Ladd McConkey for 30, and just like a quick, like just absolutely demolishes the Rams just very quickly and just looks sharp as a tack and just has a quick, like in and out. Okay, 1 series, you did great. You do not need to go back out there. You look like you're ripping and roaring and ready to go kind of thing. I think that would be phenomenal to see. Do I expect that? Not at all, especially because Greg Roman's going to want to see this run game. I think that's really the concern. They want to see the O-line out there, these guys out there working together that are just behind Justin Herbert, I should say. Get that run game rolling. And I think that's their concern. They're not concerned about Herbert's arm by any means. They're concerned about the run game. And I think they want to see the most out of that with these O-line.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And Miguel, you said, I read that Herbert was supposed to play last week. It's exactly correct. Yep. He was going to. And then Rashawn Slater was it delayed the whole conversation. And so, yeah, it's probably going to be this week. I don't know that they play the next week before the game. I mean, you never know. They might suit them up. We'll see. But I could see this game mattering because it gives them a lot of time to get ready for the actual, season to start. But, they want to get these guys' mind, in for that next game. So it's going to be exciting. Yeah, KLS, Ladd are going to cook the defenses. Look, Keenan Allen back is awesome, man. I mean, it's going to, the one thing that I would say is going to be pretty cool.
Slide up while we're talking about it because it makes sense.
There you go. Yeah, and he can hit those quick slants. Remember when we played the Vikings? Dude, the Vikings are zero blitz. They do birds on a wire and they just blitz. It is just go, 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 go. And what did they do? They just did quick hitches, quick outs to Keenan Allen. That's all it was. And so it was easy, and they could do the same thing with Ladd as well too, right? So they can have 2 or 3 good options of players. They could just play the quick game and go get that first down. And that's kind of how you have to beat, defenses like, the Vikings, right? So anyways.
I think it's an interesting.
And we are going to
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think the interesting thing about Keenan Allen being on this team is where do you put Ladd? Where do you put Keenan? What position do you play him at? Like where do they go from this point? Because both of these guys are great targets to when you need that critical down. They will find a way to get open. Who's going to be X? Who's going to be Z? Who's going to be Y? Where are these guys going to end up being at in this offense? And both of them have fantastic route running ability. And that is an absolute phenomenal weapon for this team to have. And I'm excited to see Keenan out there doing his thing. I thought it was really cool. The Chargers put out a video of, Derwin James, covering Keenan Allen and Keenan Allen doing little things and understanding the best ways that they could kind of get past defenses and everything too, and pass the defender in front of him. And, Ladd's only going to get better with Keenan there. KLS is only going to get better with Keenan there. Trey Harris, all these guys, Quentin Johnston. Like, I swear all of these guys are going to get elevated games with Keenan Allen there. And I'm glad that we got a vet in this team now, in the wide receiver group specifically. So
you need a veteran. And it's what I think they wanted Mike Williams to be. And then unfortunately, Mike Williams just couldn't go. And I did have that concern about him not being able to go at all because, again, it's one of those situations where he's just, again, Mike Williams is just, that he never came back from that knee injury, right? So, and the good thing about Keenan, he just has little bumps and bruises. If nothing else, he won't need to be out there for first and second down. He could be just a third down specialist, right? Maybe they'll probably have a special package for him and Ladd, and they might just rotate them around. It's going to suck for fantasy football, who you really get, right? It's going to be a little weird, but I mean, look, it's better to have more weapons than no weapons. And again, last year we had like one weapon, and it was pretty much just Ladd McConkey and Quentin. He would go quiet in some games, right? And so, I think that's kind of where the conversation kind of becomes interesting.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, though, make up a matchup nightmare with those two guys, and that's going to be very difficult to defend when you got two guys that could find their way to get past whatever defenders in front of them and find those soft spots within the defense. And, that opens up even the tight end room too, a little bit too. Think about Conklin, think about Aronde Gatson. Those guys end up becoming much more of a potential huge part of this offense when you got two guys out there that can make that happen. So I'm excited about our wide receiver room, man. And it's really gotten better, I think, more or less with Keenan Allen. What was it? I think I heard that Mike Williams even was on a Twitch talking about, I might be back next year kind of thing. So he might be just taking 1 year off to just kind of like sit back. Let me get my knee right. I know he got engaged too. So maybe he's just trying to get, marriaged. He's trying to get married and then go through.
Trying to get married.
And so I think he's trying to get through that and everything too. So I think there's a chance he finds his way back, but I mean, those knee injuries, man, it's just tough to get back, man. Tough to get back all the time.
It's almost impossible, right? Your knee is, I mean, look, you got to be able to cut on it. You got to be able to do your job. And it's rough, man. So, Jorge, now he's eating ice cream, watching Squid Games. Hey, I haven't seen the new season.
Great season. I love it. But I will say one last thing about Keenan Allen. He's going to want to find a way to get to 956 catches and just be that record holder for the Chargers. So I'm sure he's motivated to do that. So he'll find his way in this lineup. But yes, rotation all throughout. Situational guys from every point on, I think. Maybe the third and long, you need KLS, you need Ladd, whatever it might be. It's going to be an interesting rotation.
Let me ask you the question. Are those patches that we had in practice squad, are they going to be on our jerseys during the regular season? I think the answer is no.
No. Yeah. Those are just like practice, like accolades that they're just presenting about that player. I don't think they could legitimately put that on a jersey in game time. I mean, think about what they did in the preseason game. They didn't have them on there. So the last two, they didn't have them on there. So that's a more practice jersey type stuff, which I think it'd be really cool if Panini got their hands on those jerseys and made cards out of those. I think that would be so sick if they did that. Yeah, that would be dope.
If you guys like to collect cards, I mean, you'd want one of those, man. I mean, I would like a Keenan Allen MVP patch off that practice jersey, dude. That'd be so sick.
That would be so sick to see something like that. I'd love to see that, but yeah, I'm excited to see this offense. I'm excited to see how they blend these wide receivers to our point of our conversation in this game. You probably will see a little bit of rotation all throughout just to see who's going to be the guys for Justin Herbert throughout his rotation of one or two maybe drives that he's going to end up having. So moving on to the other guy in rotation. Top topic of discussion this week was Najee Harris. He was out there kind of running around. He was hitting the sled. He's kind of getting ramped up. And I think I even said something to the effect, I don't think Najee Harris is going to be even on the field practicing until the open practices are over with. Because I think it allows them to kind of keep things a little bit more secret still and all that too. But this photo kind of tells you, man, is that eye still even going to be able to be fully open at this point? I mean, maybe the swelling is that gnarly. I mean, that was 4th of July. We're August 15th right now. I mean, that swelling is real gnarly if it's still there, guys. So I want to see Najee out there. I really hope that he's 100% healthy. He will make a big, big difference in that whole entire running back room. Now, people have even kind of brought up the whole thing that, Hassan Haskins looked good in preseason. Preseason's preseason. We understand. And then Raheem Sanders and what he did, he played late in the game, got a nice looking touchdown and looked good. They paid him $60,000 to basically come over here, which is a very, very large contract for an undrafted free agent. So do you think Raheem Sanders could be that guy that could be essentially like Najee Harris if they need to put him on IR kind of thing? Like, where is that running back room at that point? So I want to see him out there. I hope he's going to be okay, but I'm interested to see where this running back room lies when the season starts.
I'll give you my opinion. I think we're going to see a lot of Hines. We're going to see a lot of Haskins, and we're going to see a lot of Vidal. I don't know that we see a lot of, I don't think we're going to see Amari and Hampton at all. Or at least he might be in one or two series. But I think they're going to put him on ice and say, hey, man, you get one or two series. But I think that they're trying to determine who that person is. The reason why I say no Sanders, I think the more you show him off, the more – if you try to tuck him away on the practice squad, he's going to get scooped up.
Yep.
So if the thought is, okay, we want to put him away, I don't like a perfect example. I don't think Hines is going to get tucked away on the practice squad. He was a very good special teams player. Of course, he did muff 2 punts in that last game, right? But he's pretty electric and he's looked pretty good. And again, going back to the little Trey Lance conversation, he could be someone you could trade off as well, right? I mean, if he looks good enough, you might say, well, okay, give us a 7th round pick for him. Okay, I don't think he's worth that. We'll see what happens. But, Haskins has looked really good. He's a very good pass pro player. Vidal struggles at pass protection. So I think they might want to see what he can do in pass protection as well, too. So again, there's a lot that they're weighing out. I would just say this. If you don't see a lot of Sanders, I'm just giving you a little insight, at least my personal opinion.
Yep.
If you don't see a lot of Sanders, you might say, well, they're probably just going to try and tuck him away, and let's put him on ice and let him be our practice squad guy and go from there, and leave it at that. Or hell, you could even put Najee Harris on the IR.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You could even just say he's going to be on the IR, and then I think you get to pull 8 people off the IR during the season. So you completely put him away, get his eye completely right, and bring him in halfway through the season. So that's the other side of the conversation.
Isn't it so ironic? A guy that has been an Iron Man as a running back, a starting running back, no injuries, comes over, not even a football injury, and ends up having something this serious for him. Like, what kind of luck do we have here, guys? Like, we are absolutely snake bitten here, but I am interested to see where this lands. I do think there is some chance that somebody gets on an IR, tuck somebody away for a little bit, and then kind of run it from there. I do think the thing is, though, Vidal brings a pretty good run game to us, to Andrew's point, bad on pass. I will say Hassan Haskins, probably to me, in my opinion, is probably a shoo-in at this point, specifically because of special teams, too. I think he's kind of going to be finding a way on there. So we have to not just kind of think offense only, where there's special teams as a whole other team involved in the 3 parts of this team on the field. So I'm interested to see where this ends up landing and where it ends up going. I really don't know the rotation, but you got to say right now, Martin Hampton is obviously RB1 at this point, until Najee comes back, whatever it is. So if the starters are truly playing, you assume Omarion will be out there too with the starters this week.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of injuries. Or like Najee Harris is an active non-football injury, so he's not going to play. Del'Shawn Phillips is an interesting one because he's a linebacker, a special teams ace. He was there to basically fill the need for Nick Neiman in special teams, but he can't be out there, right? So the question is, well, do you keep Marlo Wax? Or Caleb Murphy, maybe, who's the situation on that. But then Josh Fuaga, FUGA, brand new rookie, injured reserve, and then Jordan Patia, our international IPP player. He's out, injured. Apparently he was injured during his entire pro day as well, just so you guys. So, and then Savion Washington, another tackle. So, again, that's another way you can put them. And again, they still have to clear waivers, though, guys. So if you put them on the IR, if they don't clear waivers, then other teams can scoop them up, which is interesting. So,
and LOD, I could see Hines really just going to the practice squad. I mean, he brings value for special teams. He brings value, and as a running back, I think he is a guy that could really find his way on this team on the practice squad. Patterson's been with this team for a while. We'll see where it goes from there. So, I'm interested when the now 4th preseason game, and I'm hating that we have 4 preseason games. It's all a teaser for 4 games, essentially, in my opinion. But I can't wait to see this 53-man squad and see what happens, because there's going to be a lot of tough cuts in this team, man. A lot of tough cuts. So,
well, and I think a lot of teams are going to want to scoop up, a lot of these players that get cut, right?
Big time.
Panthers, some of these other teams that just don't have. They don't have, a lot of depth. The Chargers, look, I'll say the biggest difference between this year and last year, we have depth. Look at what we did in these first 2 games. Our 2s and 3s look really good, and they're coached well. So, again, if you're another team, if you're the Panthers, if you're the, just name any team that's at the bottom of the basement, right? Like, oh, let's go grab something from the Chargers, right? Oh, he's pretty good. Let's go grab him, and so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out as well, too.
Absolutely. That's so funny, isn't it? I still, when I saw that, I was like, I can't believe it. But in the same chat thread, it showed it off like on the news report. So, but moving on to the defense, I mean, Dayon is my guy. I'm excited to see this defense out there. I'm excited to see him out there making plays. It's kind of crazy. If you look at that picture, you can kind of see that sling that was around his shoulder when he like blew out his shoulder or whatnot from last season. Guy's an absolute baller, man, and the guy will be an absolute leader on this team. I think they actually even put him more as like the general, I guess, if you want to say. I don't know what they would consider it, captain, I suppose, for this defense on Saturday, or for the game on Saturday, because Derwin's not going to be there, Khalil's not going to be there. It's going to be basically Dayon. So it's exciting to see him out there and see him get out there and make things happen. I'm excited to see this defense as a full squad out there, full starters, see what they could be. Give us some real footage about that. Now, I don't think the Rams are going to be having a lot of their starters out there. I mean, outside of potentially Jimmy G and such too, which is funny that they got, and I'll talk actually more about their quarterbacks here in a little bit. But I'm excited to see this defense do their thing. I mean, you've been seeing the backups do great things. Can the starting defense be that same physical kind of look too? And I think it's going to be awesome to watch. So I think people are sleeping on this defense. I think they're sleeping.
Number one defense in the league last year. I think we still were, right? I think we only gave up
17.7. Yeah, 17.7 points. Yep.
Yeah. And that's pretty intense. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to be said about that. And, if that's the case, it's going to be pretty awesome to see what we can do, right?
Yep.
Look, I just think bottom line, we're going to be a really good team this next year, and I'm excited to see what happens. So, yeah.
Yep. No, I mean, I definitely think so. I think this defense is going to be a great defense all around. I can't wait. And one other guy that I was just going to point out here, our rookie Jamari Caldwell, round 3 pick, has been an absolute monster out there. And I mean, he is going to be, and it's funny, we've talked about it as Charger fans for the longest period of time. We need a big butt and gut guy in the middle of this freaking D line. And you go out there and get a Jamari Caldwell. I think he was rated at 340 pounds, just absolute massive guy. But when you watch some of his plays and his snaps, the Chargers have even put out videos about him too. The guy is an absolute menace out there, just pushing this pocket, creating a different line of scrimmage, just doing all those things, even getting a sack last week, which he has that ability, and he did that at Houston when he was there. It's great to see. And this is a guy that I've put pressure on more or less, saying, hey, look, you need to be that guy to basically help out with this run defense and this D-line. And he has been looking awesome all around. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this interior D-line is. And ESPN brought out an article, and they did not give a very high rating on our interior D-line. I think it was something to the effect of like 29th in the league. And they just don't feel very confident about it. I mean, our scheme is looking great. And I mean, I think Jesse Minter knows what he's doing. They even gave our cornerbacks kind of a bad rating too, which is kind of wild to see. But anyways, I'm excited to see Jamari Caldwell, man. And yes, he is our Jamal Williams essentially now too. So far he's looking that way. So hopefully we got this guy for years and years and years.
Yep, 100%. And again, remember too, he was going up against a lot of ones as well too. Again, Spencer Rattler was out there, but then all the I think most of the offensive line at the beginning of the game was all ones, right? So they were playing the starters, right? So he wasn't in there with some scrubs or undrafted free agents, and so he looked good against those guys. So it's exciting to see. I mean, look, again, it's preseason. It is what it is. Lot has to happen between now and then at the end of the day, but it's good.
Big time.
See that happen for that matter.
Yep.
Right
now,
Caleb Murphy off.
Oh man, we got the choppiness coming from you.
And doing anything, it's kind of frustrating.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. I know.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but anyways, great stuff all around for this defensive line. I love seeing what Jamari Caldwell is doing. I love what he's providing for this team. It's exciting to see what he could provide further for this team down the road. So it's only going to be, this defense is going to be suffocating, in my opinion, man. It's going to be great to watch. So moving on to the Rams. I don't know if you guys saw anything about the whole Matt Stafford situation, but he had this, and I cannot remember the name of it, but it was practice this week. I think it might have been yesterday, where this trailer showed up, and it's this big old, it just looks like if you're going camping kind of trailer type thing, but it has this red light therapy thing in there. And they were putting him inside there and letting him have this red light therapy instead of practicing. I mean, the guy's back seems absolutely jacked. And last Saturday, he threw 60-something passes, and they were saying he was not looking good at all during those passes, and he did not recover very well from it. I mean, you're in August 15th. You're a couple weeks away from starting the season, and there's a great chance you were going in with number 11 right there, Jimmy G, who's in the red jersey there as your quarterback. Now, even to say that, Jimmy G did not look good against I believe they were scrimmaging with the Saints, where he had an interception to Julian Blackmon, multiple sacks, a floater to Devontae Adams, almost killed the guy. And then he got plenty of pressure from the Saints front. That was from Brandon Staley. I mean, it is training camp. I get it. Jimmy G's been in the league for a long period of time, but if you don't have Matthew Stafford, it's going to be a tough season for the Rams, in my opinion. It's not going to be easy. That becomes a very wide open division at that point. Not saying that they've been the ones running with the division, but they are obviously in there causing ruckus within the division too. So I'm interested to see what happens there. And so you'll probably see if Jimmy G is going to be out there and Stetson Bennett would be the other guys throwing the ball. I really hope that they do play the starters. I'd like to see our starters versus their starters.
I think the other question that I would have, again, we already talked about Trey Lance. Would they trade for Trey Lance? At the end of the day, there you go. Mark just said that they'll trade for Trey. And by the way, the Rams was a team I completely forgot to mention Trey Lance going to the Rams on my video. Look, again, who knows? They might even just say Taylor Heinicke. I mean, Taylor Heinicke is Taylor Heinicke looked way better than Trey Lance at camp when James and I were there.
Yeah,
so,
big time.
Trey Lance did not look great. He was sailing balls and all the above, right? So, but yeah, I mean, if we get a pick out of it, why not, right? So anyhow, it's just a thought, right? But it is not a good sign that Matthew Stafford cannot play. Not a good idea. It's a really bad situation.
I think it's funny, the comment there. Oh, yeah, we'll get Jared Verse. Yeah, that would be a pipe dream for sure, but that would be crazy to see something like that. But, maybe the Rams want to F them picks again and then throw over some more picks to us. I'll take that all day. I'll take your picks all day. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen there with the quarterback situation? But they have weapons there within this team. They have, obviously, Devontae Adams. They got Puka Nacua. They got a pretty good running back situation over there, too, that they just signed a pretty big contract with them, too. So they have pieces there. I think they're going to have, and I'll go to the next slide here, they have one of the best defensive lines in the league, period. That defensive line is absolutely nasty. And you're going to notice one name there, right? Poona Ford, big old Poona's over there. And he signed a big contract after having a really, really good season with the Chargers. But Brendan Fisk was a guy I loved coming out of Florida State. Jared Verse was another guy that was an absolute stud. I mean, what was he? Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. Byron Young, Poona Ford, we know him. Kobe Turner. This is a nasty, nasty D-line. And I would like to see our offensive line versus these guys because I just want to see how they hold up to a really good defensive line. We always go back and refer, and it seems like it was eons ago, but against the Texans, we got eaten up over there. And we got to know what this team has right now against starting caliber D-line. So I think that's kind of a strategic play a little bit with Jim Harbaugh. Maybe he knows if the Rams are going to actually put their starters out there against our starting lineup. I think they just want to see what it looks like. And I hope to see that happen. And because I want to see the stress test for this O-line with this D-line specifically. I think it'd easily be a top 5 D-line.
Yeah, and good point here by LOD. Rams secondary is poop, but it cancels out because the D-line is fantastic.
Exactly.
It's an interesting point because if you can put pressure on the QB within 2 seconds, then it definitely makes the rest of your because everyone can play kind of forward. They don't have to, backpedal a whole lot as much, right? So again, it's huge. I mean, you saw what the Texans D-line did to us last year.
Real good.
In the mid-playoffs. James and I were there, and we're like, I want to jump off a tall building. This isn't fun. So I'm just saying, again, when you have a good defensive line like that, it makes a huge difference.
Big time.
You can't move those bodies, and
You know,
it's a good defensive line, guys.
Think about it. The Eagles, I mean, what they did to the Chiefs last year in the Super Bowl and just demolished them through a great D-line. I mean, cause chaos, cause havoc. What does that do? It makes a quarterback feel pressured and they got to try to make throws. What does that do? Creates turnovers. And exactly what happened in that Eagles game. Mahomes looked pretty petty in that game. And Rams got a good defensive line. It's just going to be interesting about that side of them. The whole offense, if they don't have Matthew Stafford, even to say if he's out there healthy, what's not to say his back gets aggravated again, and they just kind of have to keep going back and forth between Jimmy G and Matthew Stafford all season. It gets tough. It gets tough for a team like that. I did want to pull up the last slide here too, just about their defense. This is kind of an interesting stat. Now, the thing about it is, yes, this is just training camp. Why are stats a thing in training camp? Well, reason why is because it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of how offense is looking or how defense is looking. It kind of gives you an idea of where maybe a player's momentum is and everything too. But this is some of the stats that were from the Saints-Ram joint practice on Thursday in Carson, California. Didn't name a starting quarterback for Sunday's preseason, but if you look at like the Saints quarterbacks, I mean, Rather 14 and 19 passing with the TD. Tyler Shuck. I want to say Tyler Show for some reason because that's the way it's spelled. Yeah. 13 to 23 passing, 2 touchdowns. Even Jake Hayner had a good day for 5 out of 6 passing. I mean, they were slinging the ball around, and there was a bunch of different things reading into it where they had like very situational type things going on, 3rd and 2s or 3rd and 7s or 1st and 10, and then just kind of run it from there from the 40-yard line, whatever it might be. They were still slinging the ball on the Rams. I mean, kind of makes you a little concerned too that as a Rams fan, I'm not a Rams fan, but if you were a Rams fan, yeah, you kind of think, man, we're getting lit up. So maybe we're going to see that too with the Chargers going out against their starters, or you hope that it's going to be their starters. So we'll see where it goes from here. I mean, you assume Justin Herbert's going to have a field day out there.
Yeah. Good question from both. Why do we have so Michael as an O-line coach? You can't do anything with Slayer, Pipkins, Bozeman, and James. Well, those are our backup folks for the most part, right? Pipkins obviously is going to start right tackle. He's played there quite a bit. It's tough to have a great offensive line too, guys. I mean, look, Bozeman's going to be our center.
Yep.
So, but I think it's going to be interesting. So I would just say Jamari Sawyer is going to be a swing tackle now. Yep. Pipkins is going to be playing, and Andre James is going to be a swing tackle. So again, unfortunately, you got to swizzle that team around, and that's just part of the game. But they've already worked through it. They've already worked through it. They already know what they're going to do. Hopefully, they can settle on an offensive line and go from there. So we'll see how that plays out.
And this game to me is a stress test on the defensive line, offensive line, see what they could do. I think it's going to be an interesting one to watch specifically in that type of range for us. And I just want to see how they go against this offensive line versus their defensive line, and vice versa. I am excited to see that within this game. And that's, to me, the way the preseason is. Just look at individual players, look at groups and how they're playing. I mean, are we going to have another 5 turnover type game? Are we going to have 5 sacks? Are we going to get some crazy looking plays from our defense? I really hope so. And I hope to basically see that. Now, this is the battle for LA, even though it's preseason. This is still our house just as much as their house. And it's going to be a fun one, guys. So I hope the Chargers fans do show up for this one. It'll be a fun one all around. I agree.
Now it'll be exciting. And look, and again, it's preseason, but at the end of the day, we want to see what some of these players do. And I just, again, pay attention to who is actually out there playing. If Raheem Sanders doesn't play at all, then they might just try to put him on ice and say, all right, we're going to tuck you away to the practice squad. Because again, look, at the end of the day, if they're seeing enough from him in practice squad or they're, in practice, and they're like, all right, we want to tuck him away. Then again, other teams have an opportunity to grab him. So, let's see how that plays out. And I'm very curious to see how that's going to play out. Are we going to see also the 2 new rookies, or not 2 rookies, the two corners that we signed this week as well? Nehemiah Shelton, and who was the other guy that we just signed as well too? Something Hand.
Yep.
Yeah, Deshaun Hand, I think. So,
well, Nehemiah
Shelton was with the Chargers already.
Yeah.
No, who's the other cornerback?
Yeah, that was gosh, I cannot remember the dang name for some reason.
So,
yeah, and I mean, I think the one thing that's going to be interesting too is that we're going to see potentially who's going to be the hero for this game. You know, you think about the last couple, games with Nico Reed and Eric Rodgers making plays and everything too. I feel like we're having a theme here. Is it lightning going to strike 3 times at this point? Is there going to be an Eric Rodgers, Nico Reed type guy that goes out there and makes some plays? So I'm interested to see how that goes and see who this next hero will be.
And guys, I apologize. Our internet has been horrible, so I definitely apologize. So I think we are done now with everything we have at this point. So some final thoughts, James, and then we'll wrap up.
I feel like I said a good amount. There you go, Harrison Hand. Yep. I think the thing is, though, I've said quite a bit here. I think, to be honest, I just want to see the stress test on this team. I just want to see that starting O-line, starting D. I want to see them play up against these guys and just see how they look. And, do not expect that they're going to have some crazy long drives or anything like that. They're going to be pretty vanilla. But, I just want to see the stress test with this team. And I'm looking forward to watching that in this game. So, bolt up, guys. Let's get it.
100%. Absolutely, guys. And we've said a lot in this video, too. And, again, apologize for the actual internet connection. Clearly, it's bad. It's been choppy on our end as well, too. I'll just say this. I'm excited to see the 2s and 3s. I want to make sure that the 1s get out of here completely unscathed, no injuries, get a couple of, hits in and they get the wiggles out. But I'm excited to see this happen, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game. It's always fun to watch the Chargers play, and I'm excited to see what they do.
Yep, and we will do a post-game show too. I assume it's going to be after the game. We'll see kind of how it works out because I know it's going to be like 7 p.m. on a Saturday night. So either which way, we generally will always go after the game, and we'll kind of do a full recap of it. So it's going to be fun. It's always good to see Chargers football, guys. We're really close to regular season, and I can't wait to see regular season games that actually mean something. So. But it's fun to watch these rookies and this team just develop and the culture that's being created with it too, which is fun. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna keep it moving here, guys. I think Andrew's internet is going out on him. But bottom line, guys.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast.